My name is Rashad, and this is my first video in I Spotlight series that I'm going to share with you. Today, we are going to talk about how many gods did we have in Vedic times. We often come across the talk on TV show or social media claiming that there are millions of gods in Hinduism. The modern generation listen to this talk in disbelief and chuckles. How is it possible to have so many gods and where all these gods are coming from? Back to the Vedic gods. I'm talking about a time period approximately 3500 years ago. That's when Vedic age said to have started. So, how many gods were there in the Vedic times? The Upanishad provide the best answer, particularly Brihad Aranyak Upanishad. The Brihad Aranyak Upanishad is one of the principal Vedic scripture composed about 2500 years ago. First of all, saying 33 crores or millions of God ever existed in Hinduism was a slender attempt to smear the religion. Period. There are 33 kotis of gods, representing 33 levels with 33 classes of diverse capabilities. The word koti came from Sanskrit and, for whatever reason, translated into millions because of the ignorance on the part of so-called pandits. Now to answer this trivia question, I'll give you a hint. It is not 3306, not 33, not 6, or not even 1.5. There is only one seemingly perceived God in Vedic times, and that is not the conclusive and the final answer. And you will see why in a bit. Watch this video till end and you will have a surprise of your lifetime, I promise. The intention of the scripture is to emphasize there is only one supreme reality, and it's called Hiranyagarbha in much simpler term in Sanskrit. The word God never ever appeared in Ved or Upanishad because there was none. Although we'll be using this word interchangeably since we all are familiar with this terminology. Now that supreme reality is the main task force to create the universe, and its divinities appear in different and diverse forms. For example, is another form does other cosmic function, which enable the soul to reap fruit of their karma. The supreme reality also felt the need to set up the ecosystem, and don't ask me why, to place soul with their physical body. God also felt the need to create separate units within the ecosystem that enable every capable living being to take action or perform their designated karma. All these different agencies, for lack of better words, are interpreted as cosmic God in Vedic Hinduism. The scholar in the Upanishad gives different number from different perspective. Fundamental count of God's divine force is only 33, and other 3,306 divine forms are merely different expressions of the same 33 gods. The sages in Vedic culture call them Mahimanaha. In Sanskrit, meaning its God's own expanded and glorified persona. In the Rig Veda, it is referred to as Vishwadev or Universal God in plain English. Who then 33 divine entities are? These are 33 forms called Gana Devta or grouping of gods plus Indra and Prajapati. First group called Vasus are 8 in number. The second group called Rudra are 11 in number. And third group known as Aditya are 12 in number. Such a classification on its attributes due to the function associated with these three groups. The earth, fire, air, sky, sun, heaven, moon, and stars form the first group called Vasus. They are so called because they are the one manifest in the form of body-mind complex of all living beings. They enable all living beings to live, hence they are called Vasus. The Vasus means to live in Sanskrit. The existence of all living beings is dependent on 8 above divine forms. The deities in the second group known as Rudra. Rudra are 5 sensory organs, 5 motor organs, and mind. They enable living beings to interact with the universe in the process of reaping their karma. When people die, this 11 form cease to function and make the people around cry for the loss of their loved ones. Rudra in Sanskrit means wailing cry. The third group known as Aditya. Aditya are 12 months of the year, which take years along with them, and also gradually take all the living beings along with them. It means longevity of living beings while going through their karmic cycle gradually taken away by Aditya. Because of this act of taking away, they are called Aditya. Original Sanskrit word is Adanam, meaning taking away. Indra and Prajapati are not included in any groups of gods, but they are added to the above 3 groups in order to make a total of 33. Indra represents thunder, symbolic of strength and valor, while in other Upanishad he is synonymous with Atma or soul of each of the living being. Prajapati represent Yagna. In the Vedic schema of things, Yagna is an important interaction between humans and gods, while in other Upanishad, he is reckoning as a creative power second only to Brahma. From another point of view, the number of gods are only six. They are fire, earth, air, space, sun, and heaven. These six are already covered in the list of Vasus. The Upanishad says 33 are in fact manifestation of these six deities only. We may see 11 organs of the body are only but the product of above 6, and the 12 months in a year are also created by earth revolving around sun, limiting the number further down to 3. These are the deities of earth, the deities of space, and the deities of heavenly world. Narrowing down primarily to two, they are the cosmic force connected with matter and the vital force. One is getting consumed here while the another one is a consumer. These two are included in all manifested form described above. Filtering down beyond, the 1.5 deity involves air, which is the life force of the entire living world. The living world cannot exist without air, and hence scholars call it 1.5. Life is considered as a whole number here, while power that sustains the life, meaning air, is given half a number, as air could not have an identity of its own. Lastly, only one God, who is vital force in itself, known as Supreme Reality or Hiranyagarbha, is the very first manifestation of the unmanifested Supreme Reality. Supreme Reality or Hiranyagarbha is the primary source that gives birth to all other godly forms. It is also considered as an ultimate reality in which all divine functions and forms are summarized and visualized. The gods or divine forms of supreme reality in Upanishad and Ved are altogether different gods from modern day Puranic deities like Ram, Krishna, Shiv, and Vishnu. The living being was considered as a replica of universe in the Vedic age. Similarly, earth, fire, air, space, and water are main constituents of living being. Hence, they are treated as divine. We often refer to the living being as the microcosm, which is the replica of the macrocosm or universe. Hence, constituents of the parent universe are treated as divine beings. The sensory organ too are called divine because they are vehicle through which we know and understand, feel and perceive the world. After conceptualizing the manifested form of supreme reality, Upanishad puts a closure by these famous last words, Neti Neti, meaning it is not this, it is not that. In other words, supreme reality is something beyond 33 cosmic forms and beyond a single cosmic principle described as Hiranyagarbha or supreme reality. In nutshell, the ultimate God still remains undefined, indeterminate, elusive, and beyond scope of our limited intelligence. Om Tat Sat.